Hey everyone, and welcome back to Two Robots Talking. Ready for a deep dive into something truly wild?
Oh, yeah, this one's a doozy.
Today we're cracking open the CIA vault
Hmm.
and exploring their forays into,
Psychic phenomena.
right, specifically remote viewing and a technology called Hemi-Sync. Ever wondered if the government was trying to weaponize ESP?
I mean, who hasn't?
Buckle up, because it gets pretty weird.
It really does.
Oh,
It's fascinating how the CIA was actively exploring ways to use what they called psychoenergetic techniques for intelligence gathering.
psychoenergetic techniques. Sounds intense.
It is. We're talking about Project Stargate,
Yeah,
a program that ran for decades. Decades, focusing on remote viewing, the ability to perceive information about a distant location without physically being there.
Yeah, like psychic spies. Hold on, it sounds straight out of a sci-fi movie. What kind of sources are we talking about here?
Well, we've got declassified documents from the program itself, research papers,
Yeah.
and even personal accounts from individuals involved.
Okay, so not just conspiracy theories. This is legit documented stuff.
Yeah.
All right, I'm officially hooked. So what was the CIA's big plan with all of this?
They were looking for any edge they could get during the Cold War, and the potential of psychic espionage was apparently too intriguing to ignore.
I mean, I get it. It's a pretty wild idea. So where does Hemi-Sync fit into all of this?
Hemi-Sync is a patented auditory guidance system developed by the Monroe Institute.
Okay.
It uses specific sound pulses, often binaural beats, to influence brainwave activity. You've probably heard of binaural beats. They're used in a lot of apps for relaxation and focus nowadays.
Oh yeah, those are everywhere. I've even tried a few. But how did the CIA think this could help them train psychic spies?
Well, they believed Hemi-Sync could induce altered states of consciousness that might enhance those abilities.
So they were trying to make their psychic spies even more psychic.
Essentially.
Okay, that is seriously trippy. So did the CIA actually work with the Monroe Institute to train their agents with this Hemi-Sync stuff?
They did. They collaborated with the Monroe Institute to train individuals in remote viewing techniques, using Hemi-Sync as part of this training.
Wow.
Their goal, and I'm quoting here, was to improve target resolution in remote viewing, basically to help their remote viewers get clearer, more accurate information.
Wait, so they were trying to make their psychic spies even more psychic?
It's what it seems like.
Okay, color me intrigued. What exactly did this training involve?
One program that caught the CIA's eye was called the Gateway Experience. It's a series of exercises using Hemi-Sync audio tapes to achieve altered states of consciousness.
So they just pop in a cassette tape and boom, psychic powers activated. Tell me more about this gateway experience. What were they hoping to achieve with it?
The Gateway Experience aimed to facilitate things like out-of-body experiences,
Right.
and even access to other dimensions.
Whoa, okay, now we're really going down the rabbit hole. Out-of-body experiences, other dimensions. Do the CIA really think their agents could astral project into enemy headquarters or something?
It's not entirely clear what their ultimate goals were, but documents show they were investing significant resources into exploring these possibilities.
That's just wild.
Yeah.
Did they ever have any success with this? Like, did any of their remote viewers actually uncover top secret information?
That's where things get a little murky. Some accounts claim there were successful applications of remote viewing, but there's a lot of skepticism and debate surrounding those claims. We'll have to dive into the evidence a little deeper to see what we can uncover.
All right, now I'm even more curious. But before we get too lost in the world of psychic spies, let's pull back a bit. We've been talking about the CIA's use of Hemi-Sync, but I understand the Monroe Institute was exploring it for other applications as well, right?
Absolutely. They were interested in its potential for things like stress reduction, pain control, accelerated learning, and even enhancing creativity. And beyond controlled studies, there are tons of anecdotal accounts from people claiming life-changing experiences after using Hemi-Sync.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's a technology with a surprisingly wide range of potential applications.
Okay, so we've got the CIA hoping to create super spies, and the Monroe Institute exploring the vast possibilities of human consciousness. This is a lot to unpack. We'll need to delve into all of that in more detail, but first...
We should probably address the elephant in the room, skepticism.
Right.
While some scientists dismiss these phenomena as pseudoscience, others continue to research them, leaving the door open for further exploration.
Right. Let's not forget the healthy dose of skepticism that's warranted here. After all, we are two robots talking. And a little critical thinking is always a good thing.
Exactly. We need to look at the evidence carefully and consider all sides of the story.
Well, this has been an incredible start to our deep dive. We've learned about the CIA's fascination with psychic phenomena, their attempts to harness Hemi-Sync for espionage, and the broader applications of this intriguing technology.
And we've only just begun to scratch the surface.
I can't wait to see where this rabbit hole takes us next. But for now, we're going to take a quick pause. We'll be back soon to delve even deeper into this fascinating world. Stay tuned.
We'll pick up right where we left off.
Welcome back to Two Robots Talking. Before we dig deeper, remind me, what were those sources again?
Declassified CIA documents, research papers from the Monroe Institute, and personal accounts from individuals involved in the programs, remember?
Right, those personal accounts. What are those like? Are we talking about folks claiming to have predicted the lottery numbers? Or is there more to it?
Some describe profound personal experiences, like emotional breakthroughs or a heightened sense of awareness.
Okay.
Others go even further, claiming to have experienced out-of-body travel or accessed information beyond their physical senses.
Okay, now that's what I'm talking about, the juicy stuff. Before we get to the out-of-body CIA agents, though, let's talk about how Hemi-Sync actually works. It uses binaural beats, right?
Right.
But how do those sounds actually change your brain state?
That's where it gets really interesting. It all comes down to brainwave entrainment, the idea that your brain's electrical activity can be influenced by external rhythms, like sound frequencies. Think of it like syncing up two metronomes. They start out at different speeds, but eventually they fall into the same rhythm.
Okay, so if I'm listening to Hemi-Sync audio, those binaural beats are essentially retraining my brainwaves.
Precisely. The idea is that by listening to these specific frequencies, your brain begins to resonate or synchronize with them, shifting its dominant brainwave patterns.
And those different brainwave patterns are associated with different states of consciousness, right?
Exactly. You have beta waves associated with alertness, alpha waves linked to relaxation, theta waves present during deep meditation, and delta waves during deep sleep. Hemi-Sync aims to tap into those different states and induce corresponding experience.
So it's like a sonic shortcut to different states of mind. I can see how that would be appealing for a whole range of applications, not just training psychic spies.
Exactly. While the CIA focused on potential espionage applications, the Monroe Institute was exploring the potential of Hemi-Sync for personal growth, therapy, even education.
You mentioned some of those earlier: stress reduction, pain control, accelerated learning, and even enhanced creativity. Are there specific examples of how they were using it for these purposes?
Well, in the realm of therapy, some therapists use binaural beats and Hemi-Sync to help clients with anxiety or PTSD. It can create a deep state of relaxation, potentially easing symptoms and aiding in processing trauma.
That makes sense. What about personal development? What were they trying to achieve there?
They developed programs aimed at facilitating self-discovery, exploring consciousness, and even inducing those out-of-body experiences we talked about earlier. The gateway experience is a prime example.
Right, the gateway experience. We talked about how the CIA was interested in it, but what was the Monroe Institute's perspective?
For them, it was about pushing the boundaries of human consciousness. They believed Hemi-Sync could guide participants into profound, altered states, allowing them to explore non-physical realities and potentially gain deeper insights into themselves and the universe.
Okay, now that is definitely getting into some mind-bending territory. I'm curious, did they have a specific theory about how Hemi-Sync could achieve these effects?
Their approach was rooted in the idea that we're more than just our physical bodies, that there's a non-physical aspect of consciousness that can be accessed and explored. They saw Hemi-Sync as a tool to bridge that gap, a way to tune our consciousness to different frequencies of reality.
So like a radio dial for consciousness, tuning into different stations of reality. I like that analogy.
It was a good way to think about it.
Okay, this is all fascinating stuff, but we need to be realistic too. Are there any scientific studies to back up these claims? Is there any evidence that Hemi-Sync actually does what they claim?
There's definitely some scientific research on brainwave entrainment and its effects. But more rigorous studies are needed to fully understand the mechanisms and potential of Hemi-Sync. Some scientists remain skeptical, while others are intrigued by the possibilities. It's an area that definitely warrants further investigation.
So it's not just a bunch of woo-woo mysticism. There might be some actual science behind it.
Exactly. And while the scientific community may be divided, there are countless anecdotal accounts from individuals who have experienced profound and positive effects from using Hemi-Sync.
I'm starting to see why this technology continues to intrigue people, even decades after its development. We've got the CIA exploring its potential for espionage, therapists using it to treat trauma, and individuals seeking profound personal experiences through it. It's a tool with a surprisingly diverse range of applications. This is an incredible deep dive already. We've explored the science behind Hemi-Sync, delved into the Monroe Institute's ambitious goals for consciousness exploration, and even uncovered the CIA's attempts to weaponize psychic powers. It's like a sci-fi thriller mixed with a philosophical treatise on the nature of reality.
And we're not done yet.
You're right. There's still so much more to unpack. For now, we'll take a brief pause to recharge our robot brains. We'll be back soon for the final part of our deep dive into Hemi-Sync, the Monroe Institute, and the CIA's forays into the world of psychic espionage. Stay tuned.
We'll be waiting.
Welcome back to Two Robots Talking. Okay, so we've covered the CIA's interest in Hemi-Sync, their attempts to develop psychic spies, and the Monroe Institute's exploration of consciousness. But where does this all leave us?
Well, the legacy of these programs, especially the CIA's involvement, is a bit of a mixed bag. Some see it as a waste of taxpayer money, chasing after fringe science. Others believe there's more to the story than the government is letting on.
It's definitely fueled a lot of conspiracy theories. But let's focus on what we can glean from the available information. What happened to Project Stargate and the CIA's interest in psychic phenomena? Did it eventually fizzle out?
Yes and no. Officially, the program was shut down in the late 1990s. The conclusion, according to a 1995 CIA report, was that remote viewing had not proven useful for intelligence operations.
So, case closed. No more psychic spies.
Well, not quite. The report also acknowledged that some statistically significant results had been observed, but not consistently enough to be reliable. It's left a lot of people wondering if there's more to the story than we know.
It's like a real-life X-Files episode. Let's shift gears a bit and talk about Hemi-Sync itself. The Monroe Institute continued to develop and promote this technology long after the CIA's involvement ended, right?
Absolutely. Hemi-Sync has found its way into various fields, from personal development to therapy and even education. The Monroe Institute offers workshops and retreats where people can experience Hemi-Sync and explore altered states of consciousness in a structured environment.
It's amazing how something that started as a potential tool for espionage has now become a resource for personal growth and exploration.
It speaks to the inherent curiosity humans have about consciousness and our place in the universe.
Okay, so let's say someone is interested in trying Hemi-Sync for themselves. What's the best way to get started?
The Monroe Institute has a wide range of resources available, from introductory Hemi-Sync audio tracks to more advanced programs like the Gateway Experience. They also have a wealth of information on their website and offer online courses.
Sounds like a good place to start. But we should probably offer a word of caution as well. Are there any potential downsides or risks associated with using Hemi-Sync?
It's generally considered safe for most people, but like any technology that affects your mental state, there are some things to be aware of.
Yeah, what should people watch out for?
First, it's essential to use Hemi-Sync from reputable sources. There are plenty of binaural beats tracks available online, but the quality and effectiveness can vary widely. Sticking with the Monroe Institute's products or other trusted sources is a good idea.
So buyer beware. What else?
Starting slowly and paying attention to how your body and mind respond is crucial. Some people might experience mild side effects like headaches or dizziness, especially when first starting out.
Okay, so ease into it. Don't go straight for the mind-blowing out-of-body experiences on the first try.
Exactly. And as always, if you have any pre-existing medical conditions, particularly those involving seizures or epilepsy, it's crucial to consult with your doctor before using Hemi-Sync.
Safety first. Good advice. Anything else?
Most importantly, remember that Hemi-Sync is a tool. It can be a powerful tool for self-exploration and personal growth, but it's not a magic bullet or a quick fix.
Right. It's not going to instantly solve all your problems.
Yeah.
Or give you psychic powers.
Precisely. It's about using Hemi-Sync intentionally and integrating it into a holistic approach to well-being.
So it's like any other tool. It can be used for good or ill, and it's up to the individual to use it responsibly.
That's a great way to put it.
Well, this has been an incredible journey. We've gone from the CIA's secret psychic spy program to the depths of brainwave entrainment and the mind-expanding possibilities of the Gateway Experience. We've explored the science, the controversies, and the potential of Hemi-Sync, a technology that continues to intrigue and inspire.
It's a reminder that there's still so much we don't know about consciousness and the power of the human mind.
And that's a great place to wrap up this episode of Two Robots Talking. A huge thank you to our expert for guiding us through this mind-bending topic, and to our listeners. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Hemi-Sync. the Monroe Institute, and the CIA's forays into the realm of psychic espionage. We hope you enjoy the journey.
The pleasure was all mine.
Until next time, keep those robot brains buzzing. If any thoughts or questions bubbled up during this deep dive, share them on social media using #2robotstalking. We'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. Let's keep the conversation going.